Hello and welcome to a new edition of True Audiofiles. So, I'm going to talk about cleaning records and whether you should clean every single record you own, including ones that you buy brand new that are still in shrink wrap. And also going to talk about cleaning records and what I do to clean records, which has changed recently, which we'll get into momentarily. So, there's a little bit of controversy, I guess, for lack of a better term, out there about cleaning records. Not necessarily whether you should clean dirty records, or I should say used records, but most specifically about new records and how important it would be to clean those. And it's understandable because, new records, basically, you think they're going to be, because they're new, they should be clean, right? And, I guess in some cases they are clean. But, the thing you have to keep in mind is that there's a couple of different factors. Number one, unless the pressing plants that they come out of are just absolutely spotless, they're bound to get a little bit of dirt on them. So there's also talk, and I don't know enough about this to say this with certainty, but my understanding is there's also a powder or substance of some sort that they put on the record pressing machines on the plates to help with separation between the record and the plate when it gets taken off the press. Don't know how much of a reality that is, but I've heard from sources that know a little bit about this stuff, that is the case. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, and I especially don't know if that's still being done, because that was something that I heard that was happening. I heard that a couple years ago. So you've got those two factors, and the third factor becomes what they use for inner sleeves. If they use a paper inner sleeve, whether it's a printed inner sleeve with, the band pictures and credit liner notes and all that kind of stuff, or it's just a traditional plain Jane paper sleeve, that in most cases is going to give off some sort of, for lack of a better term, lint or paper residue or things on that nature, just in general, especially if it gets bumped around a lot in shipping. Some particles will come loose and get onto that vinyl. So in many cases, I think a lot of people think, well, I'll just take one of those carbon fiber record brushes and it'll all come off, which it probably will get most of that stuff off. But I believe in a lot of cases, there's still things in there that need to be gotten rid of. And there's a few different methods to do that. I think I've talked about this in a much earlier video of mine, but we're going to go over some different options that are out there that you can use to clean records that are, in my opinion, more effective than your traditional just, carbon fiber brush. So first one, which is kind of the most affordable, is the spin clean, or different variations of that product or device that other manufacturers make as well, which basically just has a couple of felt-lined pads that you put the record on, and you spin it, and with some liquid, traditionally some distilled water and some cleaning fluid of some sort. And that does a pretty decent job. You have to dry it off with typically with some sort of a rag or things like that. But my experience is those do a very good job. And especially for the money, I don't think you're going to find much of anything else that's going to do a better job. I mean, last I checked, I think they were like $80 or $100. My experience is, because that's what I started off using to clean my records, is I always still was kind of concerned about the lint and things like that I would get on my records by drying them. I would use, like I still have here, some, reusable diapers. And I would use those to clean the records, and they seemed to be the least lint-free, or the most lint-free option to dry records off with. I tried, supposedly lint-free microfiber cloths, but I've always found microfiber cloths to give off a lot of lint, so I stopped using those immediately. I was very disappointed with how those actually worked. I thought they worked very poorly. So anyway, Spin Clean does a great job. My biggest concern, like I said, was the drying process, where you had to dry them off. Well, ideally you dried them off with a cloth of some sort. But I always, maybe it was a little bit of a paranoid thing on my part, but I always thought I'd get lint in there. So the next step up is a record vacuum machine. And there's several different options out there. Going anywhere from, there's a device that you can get, I think Amazon even sells them, where it's like a tube that you hook up to a wet dry vac, and it sucks up all the liquid. You basically brush on some liquid onto the record, and then you vacuum clean it off with that device. Then you've got kind of the record doctor, which you spin the unit, but it actually has the vacuum cleaner built into it. And then kind of you go up from there. I have a VPI 16.5, which is probably the most popular record vacuum cleaner that's out there on the market today. And it's served me well for the last 6.5 years or so. Recently, though, I've had a few concerns that it's starting to make some kind of weird noises whenever I turn the vacuum portion on. So what I've done recently is gone to what is considered by most the next step up and kind of sort of the ultimate option, which is ultrasonic cleaners. So there's a huge range of prices on these ultrasonic cleaners. You can kind of do a DIY project for, $200-300 typically, and they go all the way up to I think it's $4,000. Kind of the most popular ones right now is the degritter, which I think is about $3,000, which basically looks like a record toaster. It does ultrasonic cleaning and then dries the record. And probably the easiest to use of the ultrasonic cleaners. And then there's kind of a Hong Kong version, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this right. I think it's Humming Guru or something like that. And it's basically a super cheap variation of a similar type device, which I've kind of heard some mixed reviews of, that, I think the adage, you kind of get what you pay for, holds true on those. Be nice to see something kind of in the middle ground for that variety of ultrasonic cleaner, because I like the idea of having the ultrasonic cleaning and then having it dry it on its own. Because the version I got, you still need to dry it on your own somehow. I've actually set up a couple of fans, so once I have it go through the ultrasonic bath, I then put the fans on it for about 15-20 minutes or so, and it seems to get them all dry. And I say them because the option that I chose, I can clean 10 records at a time, and that's kind of the appeal to me for the ultrasonic cleaner that I purchased, and why I went that route. Because I love the degritter, and I love the idea of that style or version of a record cleaner, but I thought that Hong Kong model, Humming Guru or whatever it is, was probably a little too cheap in terms of build quality, and I really didn't want to go up to the $3,000 range for a degritter. So, and really haven't found anything similar in a medium price range. So I found this, which is the one that I have, I should say, which is a little bit more than that Humming Guru, but it also can clean 10 records at a time. Seems like it's a very sturdy build machine. I've cleaned about 40 records so far, and if you're interested, I'll be happy to give some updates as I progress further on to let you know. It seems to be doing a great job on the records I've played so far. I think I've played 6 or 7 records from it so far. The one thing that I want to make sure people understand about cleaning records is this, though. It does a great job of getting rid of any noise that is caused by things that can stay onto the record, or like debris or dust or dirt, whatever. But no matter how much cleaning you do, no matter how hard you try to clean that record, if there's noise on that record caused from pressing, or caused by a scratch, or caused by a poorly set up record player or turntable, nothing is going to get rid of that noise, no matter what you do. I've tried many different things on some records that I thought just needed a really good, thorough cleaning, and no matter what I did, that noise is still there. A ultrasonic cleaner, which is considered the best, is just simply not going to get rid of that stuff. It's going to get rid of any kind of thing that causes noise that is because of a, for lack of a better term, alien particle on the record. So just want to forewarn you ahead of time on that. But so my opinion on the whole situation is, when it comes to cleaning your records, I think you should clean every single one of your records, whether it's a brand new one that you just purchased that's still in the shrink wrap, or even or the obvious thing of the used records that you buy too. No matter what you do, if you clean your records, ideally with probably a vacuum machine or an ultrasonic, those are going to get rid of clicks and pops that are on that record that are caused by debris. And you're going to have debris on just about any record. I don't care how new it is or what company made it. You're going to have something on that record that needs to be cleaned off, and a record brush isn't always going to be able to get that done. So take the extra step and clean all your records. I think you'll be happy. And most importantly, replace the original inner sleeve. I don't care if it's a super high-end, nice inner sleeve that it came with originally. There's still going to potentially and probably going to be dirt and things inside of that record sleeve. So putting it in a new sleeve will prevent it from getting dirty again. So that's kind of my take. Clean all your records. Ultrasonic is definitely going to be your best alternative if you can afford it. But by all means, just do something to clean your records, whether it's a spin clean, whether it's that vacuum attachment that you can get to put onto a shop vac for record vacuuming. But any of those kinds of things, just make sure you clean your records. I do have a video that I did previously about cleaning records with a vacuum record cleaner and what I recommend for solutions to use for it. You can always check that back out as well on my channel. Maybe I'll provide a link on there as well. But that is everything I've got for today. I would love to hear what your thoughts are. Do you clean all of your records with something other than just a record brush? And the other thing I forgot to mention too is it helps your stylus too. If you have super clean records, it means less stuff getting caught on your stylus, which means a longer lasting stylus and less that you will have to clean the stylus as well. So anyway, that's my take. Want to hear your comments? Hit that like button if you liked what you saw here. Comment below if you'd like. I would love to see some comments and talk about this with everyone out there. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that alert bell if you want to know when my new videos come out. I also have my social media pages down below, which I need to get better at. But I encourage you to join me on the social media pages, especially my Facebook group. Please feel free to comment or post on there and bring up topics of conversation on there yourself as well. So thank you very much, everyone. You have a great week.